gotta be up there.
What is that for, Zoom?
I feel like I'm in a hospital room.
See, that's for the documents.
It's up behind you, right?
Okay.
It's this one that he needs.
There it is.
Okay.
All set? Okay, it is 7 o'clock, Wednesday, July 14th, and we're starting the planning board meeting. Welcome to the planning board. This meeting is being televised by Chelmsford Telemedia and is being conducted in person in room 204 of the town offices via Zoom. We will continue with those Zoom links for the public until further notice. Do you want to go to the minutes after? Or do you have that up here?
I'd rather have you guys do them now, because you'll forget at the end, so you're just tired.
Okay, we're gonna first go through the minutes, administrative review. Let me just give you the call-in to the meeting number, just in case. It's 929-205-6099. All right, as for the minutes, did everyone have a chance to review them?
Yep.
March 24th, 2021.
I'll move to accept the minutes of March 24th, 2021.
Second? Mike?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. March 31st.
I'll move to accept the minutes of March 31st, 2021.
Second?
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
April 14th, 2021, minutes.
I'll move to accept the minutes of April 14th, 2021.
Who wants to second it over there?
Second?
Who's been second?
Anyone?
I didn't
Mike?
see.
All in
I did the
favor?
first one, I did the second one. I did.
All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
And April 28th, 2021.
I'll move to accept the minutes of April 28th, 2021.
Second.
I second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
One down.
All right, the meetings are all set. Minutes are all set. Next up is Princeton Street, 248 Princeton Street. 248 for the construction of a 10-unit multifamily development with associated site improvements located in a newly created lot. This site is located in the CB Commercial District and consists of approximately 32,637 square feet, as shown on the Assessors Map 20, Block 54, Lot 9. The applicant requests approval under Article 21, Community Enhancement and Investment Overlay District and associated special permits per Section 195-111D for residential use, Section 195-114 for increased FAR in Article 23, Inclusionary Housing Bylaw.
I think this is a request to sign the Mylars.
Yes.
There should be
By
a
you?
letter. There should be a letter from Christina.
Yep, so which one was 248?
248.
All right.
That one's Groton.
Is that all there is for letters?
Yep, that's,
There's
you want to
no-
read it?
For that one?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's it for now.
Okay, dear members, this office has reviewed the site plans of Land Engineering and Environmental Services, Inc., consisting of 8 sheets dated December 21st, 2020, revised through April 19th, 2021, operation and maintenance plan dated February 21st, 2021, and stormwater management and erosion control report dated December 21st, 2020. This office's concerns have been sufficiently met, and the plan has been revised accordingly. We recommend endorsement of the Mylars. Sincerely, Christina Papadopoulos.
Can you guys hold on one second? They can't hear us on the feed. For some reason, I'm trying to figure out the feed.
And is there no way we can shut that beep off? I mean, it's like, it's insanity that,
We don't know what's beeping. I mean, mine might even be beeping for all I know.
Melissa, can you hear us now?
Theater, it sounds like an inpatient room, doesn't it?
On for a moment, and now it's back
Definitely over there
off.
now. It was over here, wasn't it? I felt like it was over here. Now it's over there.
The heart monitor.
Something happened. I can stop using it.
they're waiting to fix some technical difficulties
Doesn't seem to make any difference.
for the Zoom link.
It's gone.
Okay.
I unplugged mine. But I was listening up close, it didn't sound like it was coming from there.
Thank you.
Well, that's an improvement.
as long as it stays alive. If not,
I'll give you
go
mine.
to my computer.
You 59%.
See that thing? If I leave this on, it's gonna echo.
Nothing, we just vote to, we direct that the Mylars to be signed. I mean, all the work's been done.
Yeah.
They using that for the mic?
Yeah, so. I need to get, hold on a second, I'm sorry, you guys, this is weird.
You wanna take a 5-minute break?
Yeah,
All right, we'll take a 5-minute break.
that's why.
Yeah, turn the mic off.
Which mic?
The one on our computer.
You want? on Billerica Road for Erica to zoom in.
Yeah.
Now?
All right, we're going to continue the meeting, and when we get the Zoom fixed, they can join in. Can you hear me? So where were we? We were,
You're gonna need a motion to approve the signing of the Mylars for
48 Princeton Street. Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, Colleen? Okay. Next up is 240 Groton Road. A request to endorse the final plans. Subdivision plan to create 12 lots from a new Lot 1.
Tim, I'm recusing myself from this.
You are, okay. Mike's recusing himself. We do have one letter if you want to.
All right. Okay, dear members, this office has reviewed the subdivision plan by Howard Stein Hudson Associates, consisting of 17 sheets dated March 16th, 2020, revised through July 12th, 2021, and supplemental data report dated March 2020, revised through July 2021. This office's concerns have been met sufficiently, and the plan has been revised accordingly. We recommend endorsement of the Mylars. Sincerely, Christina Papadopoulos.
Question,
Yeah.
if Christina reviewed a 17-page plan and we have a 2-page plan attached here, what are we missing
The other thing,
in our attachments?
No, I think didn't we have all of that stuff last time around?
Christina's
Well, I
on
don't
the-
know. All I know is that what's attached to the agenda is 2 sheets.
and
And
why,
Christina's letter says that she reviewed 17.
the other question I have is why does it say 240 on the agenda and 236 on this?
It's 234 through 240 or something like that. It's a bunch of addresses, so.
Well,
We
shouldn't
probably
it-
do.
Shouldn't it reflect the right address, all
I would
around?
think.
I believe it's actually both lots. It's both 240. I believe it's both 236 and 240 because it's a bunch of different properties.
Okay.
And then the 2 attached sheets that you have were from, excuse me, it's Katie Enright with Howard Stein Hudson.
Thank you.
Were from the last meeting where we did the lot consolidation plan and then the subdivision plan. So those were the 2 extra sheets.
Sounds
Those
like
aren't
a
part of
plan.
the official definitive.
Okay.
All right. Then I would give you a motion to endorse the final plans for 240 Groton, well, 236, 240 Groton Road, TB 2020-04.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, okay, you got enough for that.
Okay, that one is done. Colleen, unanimous as well. Next up is 249 Groton Road. Request for endorsement. North Star Realty LLC, 249 Groton, requests endorsement of the approval not required for the property located at 249 Groton Road.
It's just an ant.
Do we have any letters or?
So Tim, I'm gonna recuse myself again because it's the same development. I'm
Yeah.
not an abutter to this, but it's the same development.
Right, Mike?
Oh, yeah, it's Chris.
A&R.
It's up there. Oh, that's the site. So this is the one we just did, and this is the site that we're looking at now.
20,000. It looks like 125 and 103. What's the requirement there for frontage?
What's being separated here?
New property line kind
Yeah.
of is diagonal.
Oh, okay, so it's coming off of Doris.
Yeah. What's our frontage requirement on this?
RB?
Remember, RC,
This is our
Is our
it's RC.
It's 125.
Is 125, is that correct?
Yep.
All right,
So we've got 125 in the back
and 103 in the front.
yes, but the frontage property has 181 across,
Yeah, across
Groton
Groton
Road.
Road, okay.
so
Yep,
it
that
has
works.
it has its space.
That works.
All right.
If you guys need any help with anything, again, Katie and Ray
Yeah.
can explain.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions for Katie?
No, this is,
No, I think this meets the requirements.
yeah.
I would move that we grant the request for endorsement for approval not required with no determination as to zoning.
Exactly. That's what we wanted on there. Can I
yes,
have a
with-
second? Second,
I don't see a comment on here about no determination for zoning.
It's in our minutes.
I know that, but it's not on the,
do you wanna have it added?
don't we usually have it on here? Don't we usually have it on the plan?
What is it?
No determination,
Is the note on there, Katie?
not required.
Termination to zoning?
Oh, yes, it does, I found it, it's under certification.
Right there.
Okay,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good.
Rubber stamp.
So we have a
we're
motion.
good.
We need a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Anything else that we,
Okay.
there was nothing else on that one anyways. We'll put on that one, 249.
Here, keep it.
Next up is 314 Dunstable Road. Request to endorse final plans. The applicant requests definitive subdivision approval and applicable waivers under the subdivision control law and the rules and regulations governing the subdivision of the land in the town of Chelmsford. The project calls for the construction of a new dead-end roadway and the construction of 6 new houses on 6 new lots. Site is located in RB Residential Zoning District. The properties are approximately 10.9 acres as shown on the assessor's map 2, Block 4, Lot 1 and 2. Both parcels are located on the western side of Dunstable Makepeace Road and abut the Westford town line. Do we have anything?
I just have a letter, but it's on my computer, so I'll read it if you like.
All right.
Yes, please.
Okay, it says, "Dear members, this office has reviewed the subdivision plans by Howard Stein Hudson Associates consisting of 28 sheets dated October 22nd, 2020, revised through July 7th, 2021, and a supplemental data report dated October 2020, revised through July 2021. This office's concerns have been met sufficiently, and the plans have been revised accordingly. We recommend the endorsement of the Mylars. Sincerely, Christina Papadopoulos, Town Engineer."
Okay.
So I have a question. I was at the housing, the historic district last night, and apparently they have not signed off on this,
On the demolition?
on the demolition, and also the housing department hasn't signed off on this, so do we endorse final plans without sign off from the relevant?
But those are separate approvals?
Yeah, it was a demolition permit that,
Yeah, I mean, they can't proceed without the
They
demo
can't go.
permit anyway.
Well, they already did.
if you like, I can read you the email I got today that
Oh,
fixed
okay,
all
then
that.
that's something for the
But it's,
the historical commission to take up
yeah,
with
it's
them.
separate from endorsing the Mylars.
What did you get that you corrected it today?
A agreement that they were gonna go to see the historic district. They didn't think they had to go, and they didn't, they went,
No, they
go.
didn't go.
Right.
So they just tore it down?
They were told they had to go, apparently, in multiple emails.
Whose project is this?
So this is, Chris Finnerol and, I believe Dave Guthrie, but,
Oh dear.
so they're gonna meet either Monday the 19th or Monday the 26th to finalize what they need to do, and they just haven't confirmed that yet with the applicant.
I mean, I think it doesn't make any sense for us to be approving plans that are contingent on approvals that haven't been granted.
It shouldn't be, I mean,
Well,
Evan, do you wanna address that?
Historically, what
I
would
mean,
you,
there's no connection
Correlation.
between
They're not tied
what you're
together.
doing and what they're doing.
Yeah.
There's no contingency. They're totally
The
separate.
Historic Commission doesn't need to sign off for
They have
things
to
that
They
sign
may,
off
but
under their
that's their-
jurisdiction. But their jurisdiction,
issue.
your
No, wait,
jurisdiction
It's not
don't
tied to the
overlap.
planning.
Yeah.
They're signing off a demolition permit, it has nothing to do with these plans.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's disrespectful to them, if nothing else, to,
maybe that. Katie,
And
do
it's a
you have
historic
something?
problem,
More of a zoning,
but
building it
It's not even that,
the
it's the age
reality
of it.
is that
issue.
the historical commission's approvals for demolition and/or appropriate rebuilding of historic properties is not in any way tied into as a contingency and a requirement of the zoning code.
but
So
don't you think it's
whether
sending
it
a
should
message that
be,
it doesn't matter if they
it
follow the rules?
does. It absolutely
Oh, there
does,
was a
and it
big
causes
stink
all
today.
sorts
They-
of problems.
Right, but
Um,
I think we
I
should
think
wait till
your,
it's
I
sorted.
think your approval, the plans, I think, indicated that that structure was to be demolished. You know, if you want clarification, I believe the project engineer is near the podium.
Yeah, do you wanna,
Yeah, so Dave and Chris are aware that, that the house on the site, although they didn't look aged, is of the age that it has to go to historic, and they've applied for that permit, and they'll proceed, and they haven't demolished the house, and
They
they
have
can't.
not demolished the house?
No, I don't believe so.
they did.
They did, oh, I
That-
didn't know that they
That's what caused
had.
the stink, yeah.
Okay.
That's the issue.
I didn't know that they had already, I
They're expecting,
apologize.
they need to do an inventory for historic,
Mm-hmm.
and they've agreed to do it, they're gonna meet, they're trying to figure out when to meet.
Okay, I was unaware that they had demolished it already.
It will be very difficult to do the inventory without being able to take pictures of it.
Did the planning board plan propose demolition of that structure?
Proposed demolition,
Okay.
absolutely, absolutely.
Okay. So ultimately, the historical commission is gonna have to circle with the building commissioner.
yeah.
That's where the process has a deficiency.
Yeah.
But they didn't take it down under our direction of our previous approval.
No,
Took the
you
home
can't,
down.
you can't grant.
We
the-
don't do that.
We're not the
Granting the
approval granting
approval. We don't-
authority
we
to
don't
take
approve.
that
All I'm trying to
down.
clarify is that this board, it was clear from the plans you approved that that was the
It's gonna be
intent.
demoed.
Yes,
from
in
this.
order for the new
Yeah.
development. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I could get Dave on the screen if you'd like, I can call him.
I don't even think we need to, I mean.
Not for our purposes.
Right. Although it is not right, but what we're saying is it was gonna be demoed anyways according to our approval,
Well,
and
if
that
they
would be.
approved it being demoed,
Yeah.
it only gets demoed
They
if they
didn't have-
approve it, and then if not, then they have to wait a year.
Well, no, because they've already told them that it's not preferably preserved, but they wanted these documents done. So this is why they were supposed to come. So it was not meant to be, it was nothing really historical they thought about it.
Which means
I mean,
They won't
we
hold it
won't
up for a
know
year.
that until, because they.
I do, because I go to all those meetings.
We don't have to know that.
I go to all those meetings, and they've
Yeah.
talked about it. They are gonna approve it. They just they want the inventory, and now they won't get the pictures, so.
they won't get the pictures is the
Yeah.
problem.
It's unfortunate.
Because somebody took action before they were authorized to take action to raise it.
I mean, honestly, I think it's,
Yeah, I've made that argument multiple times.
that it's disrespectful.
That it makes absolutely no sense not to tie historic commission approval into the planning board approvals. That it makes no sense that they are not one of the inputs to our process, but they are not. They are currently not one of the
So
inputs.
how do we feel? Do we wanna,
But didn't the process go, we approved the new project, right, the development, and then they're to take it down a different track for the historical, and then go to the building commission to get demo permit, right?
Mike, what we've tried
But
to
they
do.
bypassed it.
What we've tried to do in the past was include the historic commission as one of the departments that provided inputs to a plan
Yep.
before we approved it. And it was doing that was shot down by this committee a number of times.
Maybe we
So,
should do it again.
well, maybe we should do it again. But all I'm saying is that as of today, when this was taken down and when we approved this project, the Historic Commission's input is not a required input to our process.
So is it adequate that it's not a required input that we then disregard?
Yeah.
the
They weren't
input?
trying to preserve the house, as Colleen is indicating. And I don't attend their meetings, but my understanding is that their initial determination was that they were not interested in saving or preserving that house or applying their demolition delay. Apparently, there must have been some miscommunication between that determination and we still need some paperwork from you before we sign off. But based upon what I'm hearing, it sounds like it's pretty clear that the Historical Commission was not looking to apply the demolition delay.
No, and they were supposed to be at the meeting on June 8th, and then they didn't show up for this month's meeting, which brought up the question of, where are you?
It
So
sounds
they
like,
were scheduled before this was supposed to happen, but, but
and it sounds like it was a disconnect between the building commissioner and the historic commission
right,
as well.
and he has to sign off for.
He has to sign off
Yeah,
to
we don't
demo.
have all the information here,
Didn't.
He didn't.
But we-
And they
we
just,
don't-
and they just took it down.
but we don't know. I mean,
This
I
morning,
don't
he
know.
told Deb Taverna that he had not.
They
Okay.
just took it down.
My point is that I don't think there was no board or committee or developer intent to save that structure. So for purposes of
But
the.
your idea is going forward, if there's another property like this, that we should have input from the historic.
I think so.
Yeah, so that we should
Well,
look
that,
into
that would be,
we
that
should.
would be a change to our process, and it's probably a worthwhile change to our process.
Yeah,
I would certainly agree with it.
Nancy's been trying to do for years.
But
Yeah.
can't
That's
you,
right.
can't
That's
you do
exactly
that?
what I've
And I
been trying
always
to do
vote
for
for it.
years, and it's always been voted down.
But can't you do that on a case-by-case anyways?
Sure.
I mean, if there was a project
course you
tonight that
can.
came through, you could ask it, and we would wait for a
Of course
decision
you
until we
can.
got that, so.
And it depends on how many of the board members care about it at the point that you do it on a
like always say,
case-by-case
right time,
basis.
it goes round and round.
Or we could do something from a policy standpoint, in which case we would always make sure that we actually got their inputs on historic structures, or structures that were old enough to be considered for historic.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, might be more than 75 years.
Right, well.
Okay, so, does anybody have a motion?
Well, I think under the circumstances, what we would best do would be to endorse the final plans. That doesn't mean they have necessarily a free ride to actually build the thing, because they could get jammed up.
They're
by
still
the
gonna have
Historic
to
Commission.
follow
They're
up
still gonna have
back
to
with
deal
them.
with the Historic
And
Commission.
these two developers,
Yeah.
they're the ones that did Turnpike. I mean, they've
Yeah.
done everything they say they're gonna do, and
So-
so I don't think that, they must have been a disconnect between them, but we don't know that.
Can I come in the meeting?
Is that Deb?
Yes, it is.
Hi, Deb. Deb Taverna, she'll tell you.
Okay.
She's the
Yeah. Yep.
chair of the Historical Commission
Where is she?
on Zoom.
Deb, could
I'm
you
on the
provide
phone.
some light on this, or some
On the
history?
phone.
She's on the phone.
I can. We have not had the opportunity to declare this historically significant or not. It hasn't even been discussed. And it's my understanding that the building department did not sign off on the demolition. There was no miscommunication. There's been nothing on it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is Deb Taverna from the Historical Commission.
Thank you, Deb. Does anyone have any questions for Deb?
I do.
Go ahead.
Deb, will you be then looking at this in terms of actions to be taken against a developer that raised a age-classified structure without authorization?
That is part of our discussion that we will be going forward with. We don't even have an inventory yet, so we don't really even have a history on the house.
Okay.
All right, so go back to my question.
Yeah.
Evan, do we have jurisdiction here over this? Or I think it sounds like we're discussing something that's totally the building inspector's issue. And
It's the Historical Commission's
It's-
issue.
It's a
it's the
historical
historical
commission.
commission, but the building
Enforcement,
inspector
that'll be the-
gives
Well, ultimately-
authorization to demo a building.
Well,
And
according to Deb Taverna, he did not give
Well,
authorization.
Yeah, so that's a fine coming from the town, and that's an
Yeah.
issue with the town.
For
Yeah.
planning board purposes, you
not
have,
planning
you have
board.
no
Jurisdiction.
business, no jurisdiction.
I'm just trying to clear that up, because I don't think, we approved this project
Yeah.
before.
And even if you wanted to
Right.
somehow hold up the project due to this issue, you wouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
The
we just don't
historical
have the
commission
jurisdiction.
has full.
It's not
full
for us
juris-
to,
Exactly.
They can make life miserable, but
we
I mean,
can't.
they can hold it, the building inspector can hold it up, and the historical commission can hold it up, but
Absolutely.
we can't.
Right, that's why I'm just clarifying. I mean, I agree
Yeah.
with you, Deirdre, but I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
holding it up here, we've already approved this project. And it's in the jurisdiction of the building inspector and historical
We have no authority
To-
on this.
to fine them or take whatever action they want.
Did you, Katie, did you talk?
No, I
to-
appreciate that. Certainly, I want to get the plan signed tonight, and I agree with you just said. But I did just talk to Chris Finneral, who is sending me a picture of the signed demolition permit from the building inspector, which is
Oh,
why the building
lovely.
was taken down.
okay.
So there's
Was
more to
signed
this.
by Marty.
I don't know. He's
I
going to
was
send me a
told this
picture of
morning
it.
that they did not sign off on that.
I think-
Okay.
I think that was from Jose.
I
You
don't know.
guys
I don't
don't
know.
really
Chris,
need to be
Chris,
getting
is,
into
Yeah, I
Chris
don't,
just
I don't
sent it to
really
me.
think it's,
It's out here.
It's
Yeah,
not-
I don't think
exactly,
it's our problem to
exactly.
figure out.
No.
okay, that sounds good
Exactly.
then.
So,
I appreciate
I will
it.
give you a motion to endorse the final plans for 314 Dunstable Road, PB 2020-08.
Second?
Second.
Second by Mike, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Deirdre.
Nay?
Deirdre says nay.
Sounds like somebody's gonna have fun.
Okay. Next
Not
up,
gonna be fun at all.
200 Turnpike Road. 200 Turnpike Road, All Star Management LLC request.
Now what?
Someone's put us on hold.
That's awesome. That was great.
Are we getting punked?
No.
This has been a night.
You gotta love computers.
Awesome.
You gotta love them.
Elevator music pops on.
All right, so we'll continue. Request a special permit per section 195-5 use regulations and attachment 1 use table to operate a 2,800 square foot doggy daycare commercial kennel. Special permit per section 195-18 to reduce parking and section 195-144C to reduce buffer strips and any other zoning relief that is deemed necessary. Site is located in IA Limited Industrial District and consists of approximately 3.85 acres as shown in the assessors map 106-328-5. Do we have any?
So-
We have a
nothing else.
copy.
In front of you, you have Nana Arroway's comments of the full decision that I had sent out. And then the third page in your packet is Deirdre's comments in an email form. So so I provided the framework for the decision. I then asked the board via email to submit facts, findings, and then criteria under the special permit review criteria, 195, 103B, 1 through 6. So from the date of the, this hearing is closed, you voted, you took your vote on June 6th. The vote failed 3-4. And so at this point, the board needs to draft this decision, do whatever deliberation you feel is warranted as part of that deliberation, so that this decision can work its way to being finalized and ultimately clocked in with the town clerk. So my suggestion to the board, I don't know how much deliberation is needed for you to come up with facts, findings, and the criteria for the special permit. My message is that if it requires a lot of deliberation, that's fine. You can take your time and deliberate this evening. But I don't recommend you attempt to wordsmith the decision this evening. So you don't need to finalize this decision tonight.
Tonight, okay.
But I think it all depends on how much more either individual review board members want to take off meeting time, or whether you believe this warrants board deliberation. At some point before you finalize your decision, there likely will be some public deliberation. Right now, the only thing you really have to deliberate is Nancy's comments and Deirdre's comments, unless anyone wants to kind of provide comment without wordsmithing it.
So can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
So when you put this original draft together, did you look at the tape again of the event?
Yes.
So when we made
yeah.
comments, each one of us made comments,
Yep.
and some of them are not in here.
So I did watch the meetings. The framework does not identify individual specific comments.
Right, just the
Because that's all they are, is comments.
Right.
And in order for something to be a fact or a finding, the majority of the board has to agree.
Read that, okay.
So that's kind of where we are. So you'll see, you know, there are some facts that I put in here, like 11, you know, abutters expressed following concerns. I did not hear, I heard individual board members articulate similar concerns.
Yeah.
But the board never got to during the public hearing, the board never got to the point of deliberation. Do we agree? Do we disagree? What do we agree on? That's what this purpose serves.
So some of those items that are in the facts could move into the findings.
Yes, very well.
That's what you want, right? So the findings are the final
The
decisions of our.
findings reference the facts.
Yeah, but it references the final decision.
That's right, but
Right?
the findings should have references to the facts to justify them.
I have a couple things in the facts that I don't agree with. I don't agree that they're facts. For instance, I don't think I don't see unless we're trying to set this up to be overturned, I don't see necessarily the relevance of expressing the percentage vacancy rate as a fact pertaining to this decision, because I don't think that fact pertained to this decision in any way.
What number was that?
I'm sorry, number 12 in facts.
Number 12?
No.
or-
I'm
think
sorry,
it's moved up to
14.
14.
14.
Yeah.
No, I agree with you, because I was wondering
14.
why there's still question marks in there, because there's no.
So I
And then-
added it in there because one of the things that we have to look at in terms of special permits is whether it provides social, economic, or community needs are served. And filling empty space in the industrial area that we have been trying so very, very hard to fill because it's low vacancy, a high vacancy rate, to me would address, would be one of the things that addresses the economic needs of the community.
The question is, though, did we actually discuss those numbers or those figures in the meeting? And I'm not so sure we did,
I'm not sure that we did.
in which case we can't really
Can't
use it
revisit
right,
that.
as
We
a
already had
fact.
it, fine.
And that would be
The other
outside.
fact that we
Gotta be
did
positive.
discuss, and I didn't contest it at the time, but I have thoughts that I don't agree with it, that the traffic flow will not be substantially changed. I mean, I did talk about specifically the traffic at the entry and exit in the blind corner, that I think that is a potential safety hazard. But also, you know, Attorney Eliopoulos said, I believe the number was 5%, there'd be a 5% increase in round trips for this use of the property as compared to
The
the
previous.
prior use, and that wasn't significant. But as I reflected on it later, I think on a very heavily traveled road, a 5% increase in travel is significant. So I don't agree that it's not substantially changed as a
So-
fact.
So I would absolutely disagree with that,
Okay.
because a 5% increase on that particular property, as compared with the numbers that we were given when we asked about the total road traffic.
No, it was the road traffic. It was the
No,
5% of the road
it wasn't
traffic.
a 5% increase on the
Yes, it
road
was.
traffic. It was a 5% increase on that property's
I
traffic.
don't believe so.
That use could not possibly impose a 5% increase on that road's traffic,
that would be
because
in the
that road
hundreds.
is so
That would be
high.
in the hundreds.
Such a
That would be in the
high,
hundreds.
it would be in the multiple hundreds.
Well, 40
Because there's
dogs coming and
thousands.
going is 80, and coming and going the second time of the day is 160. And I think the
No,
total in the
No. I
day
You
was
multiplied by
320.
two, one too many
Yeah, I
times.
think you
No,
did
you
too.
go down, you drop off your dog, that's 40. You leave and go back up the road, that's 80. You come back to pick up your dog tonight at the end of the workday, You drive there, it's 120, and you leave, it's 160. And they said it was somewhat above 3,200. So by my thinking, and the number was thrown out by Attorney Iliopoulos, 160 into 3,200 is 5% on the road. And I think that's significant.
Okay. Well,
So I don't agree with that fact.
What did the other company do?
We have to go look.
You didn't even take that
Yeah,
into effect.
but you have to take into consideration
What they were doing. I
what
mean,
they were
you-
doing.
That's
There
true.
was a
Besides.
company there before.
That's
That's
true.
right, and
That's
what would be there if it wasn't for the dog?
There's gonna
dog
be a
park,
company
so-
there
Yeah.
again. It's not gonna
Right,
stay.
right,
vacant.
right.
Yeah.
That's true.
I would have to say my impression of the meeting, and Mike, you chime in too, if you see what your memory is. My memory of the meeting is there were plenty of issues, but that the amount of traffic was not one that we found particularly problematic.
I thought it was the only thing that would be problematic with that property.
Really?
But
Okay.
in my mind.
Really?
That's
So
why I
we've
voted
got, we've
to
got
accept it.
7 people and 9 different opinions here.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't even get involved in this
Yeah.
whole,
Yeah, okay.
you know, I didn't give an input, obviously, because I agree
Okay,
with the
so
Yeah, because I mean,
traffic, moreover, more people are saying there wasn't an issue with the traffic, right? I think Deidre, you were feeling that. Mike, what were you thinking with the traffic?
I thought the traffic was an issue up that area, but I don't remember that being, that wasn't a definitive, my negative vote because of that traffic.
Right, I mean,
but
there were
this
other
is saying-
reasons.
I don't
It's
see
a
how the
fact
change in
that it
traffic
wasn't.
Right.
is substantial. It's not that the traffic on Middlesex, on Turnpike isn't a problem. It is a problem, but the change in traffic volume because of this use
Substantial
is not
change, right.
substantial.
That's,
Evan, when's the date of this has to be finalized?
90 days from the date of close, which was June 9th.
September 9th, yeah, roughly.
do you want to take a look at this again and then, you know, next meeting, we can come back at it with this?
That's fair enough. Are there any other
Henry's
issues?
not
though?
here either. I know, would like to get his opinion on it as well, so if that's all right with you guys, could we
Yeah.
do that?
You can do it through email also, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah,
we're doing it.
through Evan.
We have to go through it. You have to
It
go
has to
directly
go
to
through
Evan.
Evan.
Necessarily have to take up time.
And then the other thing about the noise study, I mean, I think if we're gonna talk about the one noise study that didn't find,
What number?
number 18, sorry, didn't find there to be a deviance from the expected noise and the legally accepted levels. So
Yeah,
there was a
I-
different study that had significant variation from the noise and legal levels. So I don't think that could really be a fact.
I think it is, because if you look at that
They weren't
second
independent.
study, there were anomalies in it that were just bizarre.
Well, I think I disagree, and if we're gonna have facts, we
They were
can't all
hired by two
disagree.
different
Right,
parties.
right,
They were two
right.
parties. I mean, you needed
Right, they were two
independent-
professionals, both saying.
Saying
so
different
it-
things.
Right.
They were.
So we can't say it's a fact. You could say it's a fact, and I can say it's a fact.
Well, I mean, you can look at the data in it, and the first study is based on typical sound levels from dogs, and the second study was based on
A
the
meter.
extreme highest level of dog barking that's been recorded. So I can't
The
imagine.
recording he played was this above the level, and
Well,
it wasn't
but
the
that's what he
extreme highest
based it
level.
on.
Well,
That
We're not
was
gonna
the
argue that
noise
here. They
level
both
in
had,
his report that he based
said
it on.
they had issues,
was-
so-
Well, what we
was
could
the
say
peak
is,
that's ever been
as for
recorded
fact,
for
there were
dogs.
there were 2 reports and conflicting results on the level of,
Yeah.
I think that might
would be a fact.
reflect
That's
it.
a fact.
Yeah, sounds
That's a
good.
fact.
I think that might solve it.
Yeah, inconclusive.
Yeah, well, at least,
any-
but say that there were 2 reports and they
Yeah,
disagree.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Any other that we want to look at now, though, and then,
That's-
all
I think
right,
that's it.
what we'll do is we'll let Henry to chime in on his points, and
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, there is one more. The natural environment is not adversely affected. I don't find that to be true.
that was what.
I mean, I would
On what
call
basis?
noise part of natural environment.
What number was it?
Speaking
I'm
of
sorry,
Henry.
under findings,
Aha.
number
Okay.
5.
5.
I had an electrical problem today.
Impacts on natural environment are not based on facts. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I mean, I would consider noise part of natural environment, and I think that
Henry, we were just going over 200 Turnpike.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're gonna push it out till the next meeting, giving everybody a chance to go through. We got a couple of things from Nance and Deirdre, and then if you wanna make your comments for the next meeting.
All right, that's fine.
All right, then
So
why don't
so
we,
Deirdre, I'm having a hard time understanding why a 40 dB noise level at the house is a problem for a natural environment when peepers are at a 65 dB level.
What's a peeper?
you know, those little
You know
frogs?
those little
frogs.
little frogs in the
Froggies.
springtime?
One's
So,
out in the swamp.
so they
Yeah.
are
Don't
like,
get to zone them.
we don't get to zone them. But the point is that this is so much below normal background noise that I don't understand it
Well,
being
I think the
considered
best we can
a
say
problem to
here
the
is that there were
environment.
conflicting reports, and leave it at that.
That sounds
We've
great.
already
We made our
decided the basic decision here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what we're really doing is plugging stuff in there so that there's some reasonable record of what we did.
Right, and we know that we disagreed.
And we know that we
because it was
disagreed, and we
different,
know that we
so-
had two different
That's
reports.
correct. We
So let's
disagree.
just leave it at that on the noise.
So it should be the people that voted.
Yeah,
We'll,
I mean, maybe to
That's why I say
make
that.
next meeting productive, maybe the 4 members who voted against, maybe those 4 members should
Take the night off.
should try to provide, really take some time to provide via email to me
Yeah.
your reasons.
well, I kind of think
Then,
that's what
you know-
Nancy did.
No, the people who voted to deny.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Because
I think
because
that's right.
ultimately, it needs to be a decision justifying the denial.
yep,
Right.
yep. All right,
We're just gonna confuse.
that sounds good.
Yeah.
All right,
You know what I mean? It just gets
Yeah.
confusing.
We're gonna debate it again, right?
all right, so that's fine.
So, in that case, I suggest that we defer this. Does that need I don't think it needs a motion.
No, just table that.
Let's table it.
Tabled, okay.
All right, this went away.
All right.
I know mine too, and it wants a password now.
Next up is
That's the one.
9 Acton Road.
So you have a draft applicability in front of you, fairly straightforward. I think the board has seen these.
13, wait a minute, 9
past-
Acton,
Acton Road.
Yeah, 13, it's,
AKA 9 Acton, okay.
yes.
Do we have
This is
anything?
applicability, which
Letters
sets
of
the stage for them to do a full
Okay, I still
special
can't find
permit submission.
good.
Finding number 7 codifies the board's
You're looking for the actual applicability.
comments or concerns or wishes and desires that you'd like to see as part of a formal proposal. Fairly straightforward for purposes of applicability.
I think this reflects what we
Yeah,
determined.
yep.
I'll give it a motion when discussion's done.
I'll second.
All
All right.
I have a question.
Ah,
Now, we had applicability before for
32.
32. Now we're doing another applicability for 24.
Well, we're saying that falls underneath.
yeah, that's less,
32.
Now, on here on the back, it says,
Oh,
does that start the time clock for the next 2 years on 24?
No.
No.
So
I
this
think
would,
the lawyer answered that last time, right?
yeah.
Didn't he?
You want me to insert clarification on that?
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're starting the
That's
time
safe.
clock all over again. Do we start it at the
It's
32?
it's not,
Starting at
that's not the
24?
intent per council's memo
All
to you.
right, yeah.
The 2 years was from the first applicability, which I think we're all in agreement. Okay, so I will clarify general condition number 1 per council's memo.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that was the only thing I had.
Thank you, Henry. Anything else under discussion? Anybody? All right. so
Then
we
make
have
that a motion to approve the decision as amended, or as it is about to be amended.
Second.
Second.
All right.
Who seconded that?
Henry, all in favor?
Right, second.
Aye.
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 All right.
All right, next draft decision, applicability for 133 Princeton Street. I reviewed that video as well. This applicability seems fairly straightforward. There were several special permits on findings number 7. I'll just bring to your attention. Major business complex, floodplain, and then some of the others that are tied into CEIOD.
Wait a minute.
In fact, in the fact, we go to fact number 3. The existing structure is pre-existing non-conforming, as are parking and landscaping. Can we put a statement in here about what is the non-conformance?
Yep. It's everything, but specifically it'd be perimeter, internal.
Yeah, but can we add it in,
Yep.
because we need that as a basis to evaluate what happens to it.
Right.
You know, what happens with the plan in terms of what's acceptable.
Does anyone else have anything? Go around, Paul,
No.
Henry,
Good.
Mike,
No.
Good.
I'm good.
Nance,
No, I'm good with that.
and I'm also good.
All right,
Make a
so,
motion.
move that we approve CEIOD, this is 133, right?
133 Princeton
Yeah,
Street.
move that we approve CEID applicability for 133 Princeton Street,
As amended.
as
As
amended.
amended. Second by Henry. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. Next up, 61 Dunstable Road. Review approved decision. Evan, that's in front of us as well.
Yeah, so this hearing is closed. I do not recall if the board actually voted its approvals, so under decision, it's blank. I reviewed the video, so that leads me to believe that you have not actually voted the project. Setting that aside,
We did.
the decision codifies some conditions. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 was per town council. And just with the, making it very clear that this approval conditions constructing a duplex as proposed by the applicant.
Yeah. This is the duplex,
Yeah.
triplex.
Yeah.
That's right. We did vote it right on it.
Yep.
I thought we voted on it.
I thought we voted
Yeah,
on
we
it
did.
too,
I'll
actually,
have
but
to,
we can certainly do it again.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we all voted yes.
Does anyone have any comments on this one?
None.
Henry?
No.
Mike?
This was the one that was,
was
it's zoned
good.
for
This is the
3,
duplex
they're only
triplex.
putting 2 in.
Correct.
Yeah.
Nance, any comments?
I'm just looking for the traceability that we are indeed recommending a duplex.
Number 3, lot 3, under facts.
And number 10, under facts.
Yeah, but where in the decision does
And
it
then,
say that we're recommending it?
I think 4.
Under decision, number 4, special
Findings, number 4?
decision.
Decision, number
Number
4.
Middle
4.
of page 3.
Conditions disapproval for purpose of
Okay,
construction.
that's what I wanted to see.
Deidre, anything?
I'm good.
Okay, well, seeing as we're not entirely sure we approved, I will move to approve the decision and approve the draft as amended. Well, have we amended it? I don't think we've
No,
even
we didn't
amend it.
approved the
No.
draft. And when we- I'll do the-
Second.
Second by Henry. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
Okay. For our next
All
number.
right, next up, 1 Billerica Road, 44 Central Square. Review decision vote, requesting the board to make a determination pursuant to GLC 40AS 16, a new proposal contains specific and material changes in the condition upon which the previous unfavorable action was based. And if so, then consider the site plan approval, Section 195-104, and special permits under Article 22, Village Center Overlay District, VCOD, Section 195-124, 2, 4, 5, and 195-126, and Article, was that 14, Aquifer Protection District, and any other relief that may be deemed necessary.
All right.
So I believe we do have a memo from town engineer?
On 61?
No, on,
One.
one BILLERICA.
She was supposed to, I think, part of Nancy, right?
I,
You,
I think I saw Christina on the Zoom as well.
There she is.
She's there.
Hi, good evening.
we don't have a letter, or no?
Oh, I probably do.
We've got Christina.
No,
That's even better.
I did not prepare a letter.
Oh, okay.
The-
Oh,
Thank you.
Sorry. The final review came in rather late today, so rather than write a letter, I figured I'd just show up and answer any questions you have.
So you haven't, she hasn't reviewed it yet?
no.
She just didn't have time for a letter.
No, she-
I w-
they
I
re-
would
the-
s-
I just, yeah, I didn't have time
Did
for
the
a letter.
drawings arrive today?
They did.
So you haven't reviewed the drawings yet?
I did. I only asked for 2 revisions, and they did both revisions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they did everything you wanted, right?
They did.
Okay.
All right.
Let me see here. What else do we have? Anybody else, anything with this?
I think we've beaten this one to death.
Right.
It's pretty mildly.
Henry, you good?
This is the one that I set out on.
Yep.
Okay, Mike Walsh.
I'm good.
And who else is, do we have Erica?
Erica's here.
She's on
No,
there?
she
Does she
is
recuse?
recusing.
No,
We ha-
No,
Erica.
Erica.
Oh, Erica, where's Erica?
She's-
Ooh.
Erica's
Is
on
it-
Zoom.
Is Erica on Zoom?
Recusing.
Okay, so we do have enough to do this.
Can I interject a question?
You can come to the
But it's
podium.
not public session and I'm recused.
No. Nance, anything?
No, I think I'm good with this.
I'm good.
And you're good.
As long as Christina's good with this at
Well,
this
that's,
point,
that was
because
one of the things.
that's what I
Christina-
was worried about.
I didn't say
Okay.
anything.
And those are reviews I can't do. I mean, Christina's inputs are,
I can do that.
I'm good with this.
All right, then, that's it.
Then I will.
Can we confirm that Erica is,
She's here.
she, okay. All right,
Yes, sorry, I'm here.
thank you.
All right. In that case, would you entertain a motion, sir?
I would.
Then I move that we make determinations that the new proposal contains specific and material changes, and then, I think we may have already done that.
Yeah,
And if
you're
so,
voting
then-
the,
yeah, and then
you're voting the VCOD.
we're rolling the
special
VCOD
permit.
and the special permits. That we move to approve the special permits under the VCOD and the site plan
As
as well,
drafted.
which is 195-104,
As drafted.
as drafted, exactly, as drafted.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Erica?
Bye.
So
5-0.
6-0.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. That's took a few weeks.
Oh, he still will have to, still has to.
Oh, yeah, we're still gonna, we're gonna see the real, oh, yeah, we're gonna see the real project.
Why did, so she, we just gotta, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Did you come back?
So used to being on the other side.
Next up, 99 Littleton Road, site plan review, special permit.
Question on that one?
Let me just read it first. Did I already? 99 Littleton Road LLC, for the property located at 99 Littleton Road, requests a special permit per section 195-21F and section 195-104. Site plan review for the construction expansion of new parking lot area, 195-104-3, for grading or clearing more than 10% of a lot and any other zone of relief that is deemed necessary. The site is located in the RB residential district, consists of approximately 2.968 acres, as shown in the assessed map 83-320-37.
Okay.
He's on Zoom.
Okay, you can go ahead. Say your name.
Okay. So this is, my name's Adam Scherer, so I'm a butter on the property. I did have a couple of questions.
Oh, no,
Do a
hold on.
presentation first.
Okay, sorry.
Mr. Chairman, my name is Fred Russell. I'm the project engineer for the project. I don't know if it's I can share a screen with the site plan if that's appropriate, or how we want to do this.
You could share
Do
a
we have it
screen.
on our?
Yes, he could share the screen.
Okay, it says I can't share the screen, so.
Oh,
You're gonna have
I'm
to grant
sorry.
them.
Yeah, you can.
I'm clicking share screen. It says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Adam Shearer, right?
No, Fred Russell.
No, Fred Russell.
I'm sorry.
No, Fred.
Oh. Whoops.
Was it?
1655. 1655.
Yeah.
Is it two applications
Get
here?
this messed up.
I do have the site plan on my screen. Sure.
That'd be awesome.
These are
I mean,
both the same.
it's up to you. I don't have to if.
I wouldn't mind.
Coming
I'm not seeing a drawing.
No, there's no drawing in our package.
Why?
Okay.
There's two letters.
Yeah. So, at the risk of taking liberty, is this what you wanted to see, Fred?
There you go. That's great. Yep. If you can scroll up.
There.
Yeah, you let me know. I can Zoom. This is not my first Zoom meeting, so
Yeah.
if you want me to go in for you, I can do that.
I can honestly say I've never had no butter share a screen for me. Yeah, just a quick overall, for the site, it's approximately, as you say, it's 2.986 acres. It is located in the residential RB district. However, it is occupied by a business of Nocella Paving. Also on the meeting with me tonight is Mike Nocella, who is the owner of the property, in case any questions come up that I may not be able to answer. If you could just scroll up, Adam, if you don't mind. Right now, the site is roughly about 40,000 square feet of pavement. There's two buildings that have about 5,000 square feet of roof area or floor area. And the rest of the lot is made up of woods, lawn, and brush. We are proposing to expand the parking or the storage of equipment in behind the one-story garage. I don't know if you can scroll down, Adam, a little bit. We're proposing to expand the parking about 8,300 square feet in that slope area which is wooded now. It will require a retaining wall to be built. And we're also going to be installing an infiltration system to collect the runoff from this new parking area. We are also collecting approximately 1,100 square feet of existing paved parking as well. So again, we're proposing to expand 8,300. The system in the catch basin, we're going to be actually capturing about 9,400 square feet of pavement. And by doing that, we will be reducing stormwater rates of flow and volume from the site. The infiltration system is sized for the 100-year storm. And as it says in the ad, we are actually altering about just over 10%, 10.6% of the lot will be altered as far as this project goes. So with that, if there are any questions.
We'll bring
So, I guess I go after the board, whenever.
Yeah.
I'll follow the rules as you ask.
Okay, thank you. We'll start with Nance.
Well, I have concerns.
Sure.
At the point in time that the site dug out the back of their lot, I did some research into the pre-existing non-conforming nature and the variances on this site. So what I found was that the pre-existing non-conforming use was a commercial service station. And there was a variance issued to build the back building for personal vehicle storage. This site is now being used as a asphalt paving, for an asphalt paving company,
Harrington's or?
which is an industrial
Okay.
use, not a commercial use, as was the pre-existing non-conforming
Been
status.
that for my entire life.
What?
It's been that for my entire.
It may very well, but there's nothing on record that ever gave it a use variance for industrial use, is my point. It is in an RB zone, in a purely residential zone. And this is an expansion of a unapproved existing non-conforming use. That's my concerns.
Okay, Deidre? Any questions or concerns, or?
Well, I guess one concern that I now have is if it was a service station previously, is there contamination?
Maybe, has there been a 21E on the property? We can ask that. Has there been a 21E on the property?
I don't know. I can ask the owner if he can chime in, if he knows the answer.
Yes, there has been.
And any known issues, or?
No issues. It was clean in the 21E that I had done when I bought the property, 3 years ago?
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah, that's good.
Good question.
You, Mike?
Nothing particular at this moment.
Okay. Mike?
How big of an expansion, I don't know, of the parking lot?
10%?
10%.
How big?
But it's actually less. It's about
Dimension-wise, how
83%.
big?
8,300 square feet.
So is it 100 by 200? I mean, what is it? Is it, that's the drawing right there?
Yes,
So you're in that area that's graded above the building garage, that's where you're putting the additional parking?
correct.
Okay. That's all I have.
Henry?
No questions.
Any questions?
So what's this additional parking being used for?
I believe just storage of equipment to again, put it so it's not visibly seen from the road or by the abutters.
So this is paving equipment?
Correct.
Can we get clarification on that? Because when I was speaking with I think the owner and the engineer, I did ask specifically if this was being used for parking, and my understanding or my recollection was it was not going to be used for parking, which is why the legal ad does not mention parking spaces and then associated relief that would be needed.
Yeah.
Also, your plan doesn't show any delineated parking spaces. It was described to me that it would be adequate paved area to get trucks around and behind the building. I'm not suggesting that having outdoor parking is a problem, but we may need to take a different approach to this.
Which would be
Again, I would
re-advertising.
ask if Mr. Nocella could
Yeah,
clarify.
it's crowded in there now in the wintertime. If anybody drives by in the summer, nothing's there, basically. In the wintertime, when we're working on equipment, everything's back there. So do we put some stuff back there? Yes, but it is, Evan's correct in we want to be able to drive around the building, to turn around, because we don't, in the winter, we can't even turn around in the parking lot out front.
Right. Yeah, I
So,
know that lot.
it's in that, and really, if you know the property, I park some trucks right next to the people's house next to me, and I don't want to do that. I would rather move them back a little bit, because they're 20 feet away from their house, and I don't particularly care for that.
Okay. All right, anybody else have anything? Then I think there's an abutter on.
I guess I don't really understand when you find a non-conforming use that you're gonna expand. Do we have an obligation to do something about making it making it?
I guess the
can't
question
make
is,
it-
is
you
this
can't.
really an
So it wasn't,
expansion?
as you can tell from the legal ad, it wasn't even advertised as expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming use. Because all they're proposing to do is pave. Paving in and of itself is is not
not a
legally
change of
determined
use.
as an expansion of a pre-existing non-conforming use. You add a building, you increase, productivity, or you bring in a significant number of more trucks to increase in operation. The pavement in and of itself is not an expansion of a non-conforming use. So it wasn't advertised as such. And just to close the loop on Nancy's comment, we can circle with council on it, but there is a statute of limitations. So, as some members have said, if a paving company has been there, and this is a new paving company replacing an old paving company, and it's been more than 10 years, under zoning, that's the maximum statute of limitations.
Certainly been that.
And they've been there longer than that.
Yeah. Can I chime in on something? I mean, the previous owner was a paving company, and they've been there since 1964.
Yeah, and the lot's always clean. I
Yeah,
drive
right.
by there. It is. It's
Now,
well taken care of.
Will these additions be, I believe there's a fence separating the front and the rear of the property, as I recall.
There's a fence that
And
goes all the way
This is all
around.
behind the fence?
Everything's inside the fence. The fence
Okay,
goes
got
all the
it.
way around the
That's what I- So
property.
you're not gonna see it anyway.
Is
Correct.
this area that's being paved part of the area that was recently excavated?
Yes.
Correct.
So this was not a parkable area in the past?
Correct.
We know.
Well, but if it wasn't flat, let's
It
put it
wasn't
that way.
flat, no.
Okay. Are you planning on putting a retaining wall in the back of that?
Yes, we show a retaining wall. We show some grades and we show a detail of the retaining wall, what type of retaining wall it'll be on the plan.
Great.
Okay, we have someone from the public?
Yes. This is Adam Shar, so I'm in a butter north of the property here. My main concern, and I was chatting with one of the other butters. Well,
Adam, could you just say your address too?
sure. It's 72 Bridge. We're this property here.
Yep. I know where that is.
Okay.
So he's up behind.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. So, our main concern is the loss of tree and barrier and sound. So as we've seen some of the construction there's been more sound bleed through. So really what we're asking, because if I'm not mistaken, this area is already clear. Is that right? It's just not graded and retaining wall.
Correct.
Okay. So it's not that you'll be cutting further into the tree, really just.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. Yep.
So I think the request we would make, if this can fit, is if we could have you plant basically a sound barrier. I'm not looking for one of the highway walls, but really just like arborvitaes or some sort of tree barrier behind, just to reduce the sound that leaks through, and in the winter the visibility. Is that possible? We just want to try to reduce the sound that bleeds through from the paving company up as part of the plan.
Absolutely, not a problem.
No, that seems completely reasonable.
Okay.
Can we put that in as a condition?
Sure. Okay, anything else, Adam?
No, that's the main thing. I just to be pedantically clear, if the trees can start out at a reasonable height, if they're all, that wouldn't serve what we're looking for. They'd have to be reasonably mature to offer the barrier.
How big?
We're ahead of you. We got minimums coming.
Okay, thank you.
This is not my first rodeo, and we want the planning board because and the property owner here at the paving company, because you were our abutting on the property years ago. So favor returned.
Okay, thank you, Adam. We appreciate it, and we can put that into the decision. Is there a minimum on?
Is there six footers are okay?
Well, we would go by caliper.
Not for arborvitae.
6 foot high.
6 foot high arborvitae.
Okay.
Go by
They start off.
arborvitae.
That's pretty good.
That's a 6 foot
Yeah.
fence.
Yeah, we
Okay.
would appreciate that.
All right. And then they'll take off from there, I'm sure.
Yep. I got some, they go good.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Does
Thanks.
anybody else have anything?
Do we have letters? Do we have
Any letters, Colleen?
Yes.
Evan, do you have anything while we're waiting to get these read on this?
So if I understand correctly, we're going with as presented. It's not a parking area, it's a maneuvering area.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Will there be additional trucks there because of this paving?
I hope not.
Yeah, me too. Because the neighborhood is not going to appreciate that at all.
I'm getting old. I hope not. No, it's pretty much packed in there. We're just trying to get a little more room to maneuver. Like I said, it's in the wintertime, we're crowded in there, and you go by now, and there's maybe 5 or 6 pickup trucks there, you know? So there really isn't much there in the summer. It's the wintertime, the 3 months in the winter, that's the issue for me.
Makes a lot of sense.
So the sense
Yeah, I can support that. I watch you guys down the hill. I saw the construction last year. I've been working outside in my back patio, so affirmed.
Thank you. All right. Go ahead, Nancy.
So the neighborhood sensitivity in that area is the fact that it is a state road, but it is an RB residential area. And being a state road and uniquely where it's positioned, it gets a lot of traffic from the asphalt plant that comes through, and they come through faster than speed limit,
They slow
late
down
at,
with the
all,
Jake
all
brakes.
night long.
When they work on the highways.
They jake brake, and it's just really, really loud in that neighborhood. So this site is not anywhere near as much of a problem to the neighborhood as the asphalt plant is, but it's one additional level of agitation. So there is a definite sensitivity in terms of expansion of the number of trucks going in and out of here.
So you hear them all night?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they go.
Really? Oh.
Oh, yeah.
They go
Yeah,
right
well,
down
they-
129.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
come in, they don't
Yeah.
realize that the speed's
That the speed's
reduced. Then they
dropping.
say, oh my God, the speed's reduced, and they throw in the Jake
Yeah.
brake.
Yeah.
About, 200 yards from
And it's
Bertucci's.
right up the road from here
Yeah.
where they hit
Yeah.
the jake brake.
Well, I can say this
But it's not
property
these guys. It's
always
not
looks
these guys.
immaculate.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not these guys.
I've driven by there a million
They
times.
take care of the
Yeah,
property.
it always
Yeah.
looks immaculate.
Yeah.
Okay, so. we're
All right.
set.
Gee, hey Nan,
What?
aren't you the,
Secretary?
She's the clerk.
You want me to read?
She didn't want to sit
All
next
right.
yeah,
to me.
right.
Right next to me.
So we have a letter from the Department of Public Works dated July 7th, 2021. Subject, Planning Board File 2021-05, 99 Littleton Road, pavement expansion. Dear members, this office has reviewed the site plan by Frederick W. Russell, P.E., dated April 7th, 2021, a stormwater analysis dated April 7th, 2021. As a result of this review, this office has the following comments. 1. This department shall be notified when work on site is to commence in order to arrange for inspections. 2. Any revision to the drainage system shall be submitted and approved by this office. 3. A site as-built shall be provided upon completion of the work on site. As-built to include a letter from the engineer stating that all stormwater devices have been built to industry standards. Provide any supporting documents or calculations. The as-built shall be from a ground survey and submitted in AutoCAD and in paper form. 4. Confirmatory testing shall be performed in the area of infiltration per stormwater management guidelines. Testing shall be witnessed by the Chelmsford DPW Engineering Division. All unsuitable material, if any, discovered in the excavation for the infiltration system shall be removed and disposed of in accordance with state and local regulations. 5. Erosion control shall be installed prior to any earth disturbance. 6. Trench permits shall be filed as necessary per 520 CMR 14.00, Chapter 82A. 7. The design engineer has received design and drafting review comments from this office. If you have any questions, please contact this office, Christina Papadopoulos. The next letter is from, let's see.
Should be at the bottom.
No, this is a memorandum from you.
Yeah, they sign it at the
Oh,
bottom.
all right, I see. Okay, so this is a memorandum from Center Water with no comments. This is a memorandum from Fire Prevention Office with no comments. And this is a letter from the Board of Health with no comments.
Okay.
All right, so that is it for letters. We've heard from Evan. Would
you like a motion?
We have a motion?
Yeah, just a second, let me check these.
Close public hearing.
Yeah, that's true. First thing
Motion
is,
to close the
move to
public
close the
hearing.
public hearing.
Second? Second by Henry, all in favor?
Aye. Okay,
You aye?
Am I?
Aye.
okay.
Speak fast enough.
All right.
I'm nay.
Next up.
I would move that we grant the special permits under 195-21F, 195-1042, 195-1043, for 999 Littleton Road, PB 202105.
Second by Henry, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous?
Nancy.
No,
No? No.
No.
Nay. One nay.
one nay.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
6-1.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
New business?
I would like to propose that we add the Historic Commission
Yes.
to the list
right.
of bodies that we request input from.
Discussion? Anybody else have any?
I agree.
I think it's
I
a great
agree.
idea.
I agree as well.
And it could just be a
Streamlined at that
checkoff. I
point.
mean-
You're not bouncing around.
Bringing that up, if I want to mention, like, why, can we have like, we're gonna do a checklist, Evan?
Yes.
Can we maybe make a master checklist with putting it all on there, so then we can just go through? I know sometimes, you know, we got a lot going on, a lot of things happening, you know, and maybe letters.
Same thing with the handicapped people, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So if we could maybe just get a checklist, especially because you know what we should be looking for too, you know, in
How
all
about
the
we start one
departments.
right now as other part of new business?
Well,
We can make one, it can be an evolving document, and if we don't like it, we'll add to it or take things away.
I'm thinking that might work best as a work session topic. But we can certainly add this to our process
We should have a
now.
work session
Yes.
next week.
That was gonna
Yeah,
be the next
should.
topic about having a work session. If, Evan, is it possible to do next week?
Yeah, the 21st?
We already decided to.
Yeah. 21st, yes, yeah.
I'm good.
What time you want to start?
How about 6:30?
Yeah, let's make it a
6:30?
little earlier.
Mike, you all right with that?
It's fine.
6:30
Might be a little
minutes?
late. but
Yeah,
I'll
I
be
don't
there.
like it, but I'll do it.
Well, I mean, if you can't do it, we'll do 7. I mean, we wanna make sure it's
I just
comfortable
have
for
to get
everyone.
Mom fed before I come. So I have to
You
get
wanna bring it,
hours
we'll
to
get
it.
pizza.
Pizza, I
feed
mean,
in the
I
hallway.
slightly prefer 7 from the standpoint of getting here, but 6:30 from getting out. So,
Well, exactly,
Well
but
put.
So we do 6:30 on the 21st?
Sounds good. I'll be
I mean, it's a
at
work session, so if somebody's
Yeah.
5 minutes late, it's
Yes,
not gonna
okay,
yeah.
break the bank.
okay.
But, yeah, I'm just, for this one, I mean, well, if we do something on a checklist, just
I
make
think
sure.
I think at the last work session for the 21st, we talked about Christina doing some sort of presentation. Christina, do you recall what you were going to present?
no,
We-
she was
we
gonna-
did
she
that,
couldn't
didn't
make
We did that, I thought.
We already did
Did we
that.
already do all
Or
that?
did she
Yeah.
have another one to
She
present?
sent us the 8-page thing and to review, because she said she couldn't be there on the
Okay.
21st.
So I'll do a checklist.
Yeah.
And I will update your list. I think at last count, there were officially 22 items that the
Yeah.
board members wanted to put on a list to discuss. We've added a few since then, so I will update that. Those are 2 items. Want to add a third item?
Wait, what's the first? The first one is the checklist. What's
yep.
the second one?
The itemized list of topics.
Oh, the topic list is our topic?
Yeah, because you want to begin to review them, right?
Prioritize them?
Prioritize them, figure out what you want to do with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a meta list.
It's a checklist to make sure we do what we're supposed to do.
I think we should bite off something else.
Did we have the town meeting?
All right.
I think that's a
outdoor
lot to
dining.
bite
We
off.
didn't mention
Well, we can do that
Hilo
next if you
too,
want.
is which we want to
Yeah,
have.
we want to talk about it.
I didn't know if we had it. You guys already had it. I don't
I
know.
don't think so.
Yeah, we still need to deal with Pilo
We just put that on.
That's
as a
on the list.
priority.
It's on the
I
list.
know, but I think it, I
Yeah,
think
so-
it would be
so
useful
for
to
pi-
actually say, we're gonna talk about it next
do
week.
it.
Yeah, you could schedule it. You could prioritize it
Yeah.
and
Could we
schedule it.
put
that
that
next
as a
week.
priority,
I
the
think as you know
Pilo
from
and our
Pilo,
checklist?
Yeah.
You may need other entities as part of that conversation. So there's some things on the list I think the planning board can discuss and decide on all by without any other input. Pilo may be an example where you need
David,
other.
I mean, well, we could reach out and see if the
Oh, yeah.
Housing Advisory Board and David Hedison
Yeah,
could make it
exactly.
next week, and if not, then schedule a
Yeah, we can
subsequent
invite
one.
them, okay?
Okay.
I will do that.
And then I also would really like to have a conversation, if we're not gonna do the Pilo, because those other parties can't attend, about, a combination of, review of town meeting / our interaction with the public, which has multiple aspects to it.
Yeah,
Well, that leads into the next agenda item, town meeting debrief. You want to
Yeah.
yeah.
add a little bit and add meat to your comment?
Well, I mean, I sort of said it the other day. I mean, I feel like we aren't having the best of luck with bringing zoning changes to town meeting, and I think part of the issue is, frankly, that, you're the talking head presenting them, nothing personal, but I think that we need to own it and be champions and, pick a person who's gonna present. Like, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about, for instance, the fulfillment center. I feel like we may have left ourselves more vulnerable to fulfillment centers by not getting that
Yeah, we did.
passed. But we were, it was just very much not understood.
Who didn't
So,
understand it?
the town meeting and the
I just
public.
wanted to make sure that it wasn't the board who didn't understand
No,
it.
I think the board understood it.
No,
but
I agree.
But I feel like we have to have a better strategy for promulgating our thoughts and our reasons why in a
think-
way that makes sense.
The thing is, though, with that, and he did explain it well. I think. I think what happened too is a lot of people spread rumors immediately. Like there was a rumor spread, I think the day before the meeting about,
About
but there was
the
one that
Mercury
went out that
property,
day,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
it went everywhere.
Yeah, it was
And
like
so
a
then
week
people
before
get
that.
it in their head, and they're all afraid because I got tons of calls and emails, and
Yeah.
over it. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I had to look it up.
Yeah.
So people spread false rumors too, and then they don't
Intentionally.
bother to actually then listen to what Evan was explaining. Not to say that maybe they didn't understand it too, but I think that was part of the reason that somebody had a campaign.
Well, let me give you an observation on that. I had a conversation with one very vocal town meeting rep and member of some boards, and the statement went something like this. Has to do with the fact that the buyer of that property had gone up, asked a bunch of questions about what was possible on the property, what could they do? Perfectly reasonable things for a buyer to ask. And the response I got from this person was, if they were asking it, they must be planning to put in a fulfillment center. And I frankly thought that was pretty outrageous, but that is the kind of thinking that unfortunately we have to deal with here.
It's allowed.
Huh?
It's
Your
allowed.
people
It
are
is
allowed to
allowed.
think that kind of stuff.
It's allowed right now.
It's allowed right
It's
now.
allowed today.
And I found it somewhat disheartening that a TM rep would take a position like that without thinking it out, but that happens. I mean, there are 81 of them or
60,
160,
64.
yeah, some large number
Yeah.
of them, and somebody's always bound to be off kilter a little bit. So, anyway, that's what we're up against. That's the kind of thinking that we're up against, and we have to figure out a way to broadcast our message in a form that will be more convincing. And part of it is to get the information more than, as you point out, the day before.
And you
we
can't
have to
stop
bring it up.
them
Yeah.
from making false statements on Facebook and
Right.
things like that,
It's unfortunate.
unfortunately, but it's gonna happen. One other comment too is like the plans, like for this Littleton Road, how come we didn't get a copy of that ahead of time? Did he not give it to us ahead of time, like the plan that he had to show up on screen? Does he
In that
not?
case, it was just pavement. so-
No, I know, but it would have, it's nice to be able to
Still
have.
needed to see
It
the
looks like,
plan.
it looks like it was intended to be linked.
Oh, I
It was-
couldn't open it up.
It was two of the same documents.
Yeah.
rather than-
Oh, see, I
Okay,
didn't-
that's why then.
So the,
Oh.
the plan
It
itself
literally
didn't
is
get
this-
attached.
Oh, no, see, 85 and 86.
Yeah, well,
it-
there's
when they-
So there was
wrong with
something
that.
missing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't notice that.
Okay, that's all right. I just,
So just back to town meeting, I mean, I agree with Deidre, and I mean, I think, no surprise, I've been mentioning to the board for a long time, encouraging the board to take ownership, to advocate and to do that at town meeting. And while some of you aren't town meeting members, that doesn't mean that the board as a entity can't have a table up at the front of the room for zoning articles.
I think that might make a lot of sense.
You know, in lieu of coming up with a robust, public engagement campaign to get the town meeting, which you can certainly do, it's clear to me that what happens at town meeting and how those 162 elected officials are what they're hearing and what they're asking questions at that meeting, at that night, is important. And, I can't advocate, and I won't advocate. That's the role of the elected planning board. But I think the piece that's been missing is board members either being part of the presentation or the entire presentation, but more importantly, getting up and being part of public comment and debate. And very often when there's debate, you've heard the moderator say that the presenter is not allowed to participate in debate unless they leave the front podium and go to the speaking. And as much as I've been tempted to do that, that's where you guys come in.
There's another thing here. I as you're pushing this idea of maybe even having a table or something like that, it occurs to me, the FinCom has their wonderful document, and a lot of the stuff is yay or nay, but some of it they have something to say. There's no reason that we could not, before a town meeting where zoning articles were to be considered, have a printout describing the zoning article and describing the arguments for it, something that people could take with them and read,
Correct.
something they could get a week or two ahead of time, so there wouldn't be, a bunch of panic and uncertainty at the meeting itself.
I like the table idea too. I mean,
Yeah.
I think showing up would be good. I did think watching the town meeting though, like I think you guys got up
Yeah,
to speak.
Yeah, we said a few
if
words.
questions
Yeah.
were asked, I do remember that, so that's why I didn't. I mean,
I mean, I've presented in the past more times than I'd like to remember, thank you. Well, it was painful. But the thing that struck me is that you present it, and then the town meeting reps tear it apart and present and get up there and present absolute falsehoods, and you have absolutely no opportunity for rebuttal. And it's like there should be a presenter's response at the end. I mean, in court you have that option.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, I mean, the way it's set up, it
The way it's
requires
set up,
it
it's
requires the other
self-defeating.
planning board members,
It-
whether
it
you're town
requires
meeting or
somebody
not
else
town
to
meeting.
jump in.
A written pamphlet with our explanations
Yeah.
would go a long way in that direction.
so
Why
could
are we supporting
speak
this?
if
Why
we
now?
were there?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Why
Members
Why
can
now?
why is it
speak.
here?
Yes.
I'm not a town meeting rep.
Non-town meeting reps are allowed to participate,
Yeah.
go to the podium
Yeah.
and participate
Okay,
in
so
public comment.
that obviously means that we should probably
And certainly
be there.
town board
Yeah.
members can. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, we can have more discussion about this. I think there's some good ideas here.
Work sessions.
Yeah.
That's why we're having
Yeah.
work
Yeah,
sessions.
we're gonna need a lot of work sessions, and I think we gotta just kind of plan on doing a lot of them all year.
Okay, next up, where are we?
Dining, a topic,
Dining.
favorite topic of mine.
The outdoor dining.
Can you bring up that email?
Yeah, I think this makes a lot of sense. I'm reading it now.
What is it?
Is that the town manager?
Town manager is suggesting that we modify the bylaws to make outdoor dining a bit more accessible.
Yeah, we
Just
need,
to clarify, he's
What's that
he's
mean?
he's bringing it to the planning board's attention to see whether it's, whether the planning board believes it's warranted. It's not specific to outdoor dining in and of itself.
Yeah.
Because our zoning is silent about outdoor dining, meaning we allow it,
Yeah.
we encourage it. It's specific to the parking.
Yeah.
The more outdoor dining you have,
The less parking
the
you
more,
got.
the more under the parking bylaw, the more parking you need.
And the less you're taking
So
away.
Oh, that's the issue.
the reason this is coming up now is that with the COVID emergency provisions ending,
Yeah.
there are a number of restaurants in town
Yeah.
that during the emergency provisions significantly expanded their outdoor dining, which by default expanded their total seating capacity.
Yeah.
So once those emergency provisions go away, some of those businesses may still want to continue with their outdoor dining. They may have gotten used to their expanded seating capacity, but
Thinking of 2 pizza places in town?
Yeah.
so that's what the town manager is
Yeah.
the question that he's posing.
Is this something you would do like yearly, look at it, or is it something?
No,
you
for
would
purpose-
change?
Modifying the bylaws.
For purposes of
Yeah.
parking compliance, you'd have to
Yeah.
go back to town meeting and change the parking bylaw.
Yeah.
Within the center village,
That could be
you know,
difficult.
Yeah, we're not gonna
you
do
just went to town meeting and increased parking in the center village. So some of these restaurants are located in the center village and others are not.
So you're saying that the outdoor seating should be in the capacity? And
So-
then that's how we're basing the
So it
parking based off
currently
the
is,
capacity?
it currently is, for example, Brick House,
Yeah.
per a planning board decision,
Actually, yeah.
is allowed a total of 74 seats.
Right,
The planning board doesn't care where those 74 seats are located
Right.
at any one time. They can all, in the winter, they can all be inside, in the summer, they can all be outside. During COVID,
yeah,
businesses were allowed to increase capacity, and much of that increased capacity ended up being outdoor.
right.
So right now, if you were to go there, or during COVID, there may have been more than 74 seats. Town manager is trying to figure out, what should the town do in the event there are businesses post-COVID emergencies who still want to maintain a robust outdoor dining, like they've gotten used to.
I got you. Thank you.
Well, I think,
Tricky one.
So effectively, if we do nothing, some of these restaurants that have been successful in expanding to add outdoor seating are at risk of having building inspector action to withdraw that access because it's taking up required parking spaces.
That's
They need
if you-
additional. Plus,
if
they
you-
need the
but-
additional, that's
But
the
there's
issue.
nothing stopping them from coming back and asking for more seating.
They can
They
do
can
that.
come, they can come in front of us and
That's
say.
right.
But if they don't have the available parking,
Then that issue comes up at that point.
So we
Yeah.
take it on case
So
by case.
under your bylaw, which went to town meeting, you
Yeah.
still,
a
a
special permit.
proponent and the planning board are allowed to reduce parking up to 50% with a special permit. So in some
So
cases.
that already
They all have to
exists.
come in
Yeah.
individually.
One case
have
So
to come-
there is a mechanism.
Yeah.
There may be certain properties where, the 50% reduction mathematically doesn't work for what they're trying to do. It currently may not work. And in the center village, it's,
it's problematic.
so It's something that I think we need to think about. Obviously, the town manager's timing was to ask this question in anticipation of whether an article at fall town meeting was deemed appropriate or not.
Well, one thing that occurs to me here is, in the summer, effectively in the summer, there's more parking in the winter, because in the winter, parking spaces disappear, snow piles up. There are a lot of reasons. But then again, in the winter, people move inside, for the most part. We might, if we want to address this, want to come up with something that's got a bit of flexibility to it.
The only time I see a building inspector having a problem is when he's got complaints, and he's down there looking.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna come in front of us, and we're gonna deal with it with a case-by-case basis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They'll have to come for a special permit.
I mean, I
case by
think this
case,
is
right?
worth a discussion at the work session, but I'm not seeing where this isn't handleable with the existing bylaws.
The existing bylaw provides a solution. It's not a very timely solution or user-friendly solution.
Yeah.
But this,
But it does provide a
can
a
expedite
regulatory solution.
so Evan, this would basically be a minor modification to a site plan, would it not?
Well, if they wanted a parking reduction, they would need the special permit.
Okay. And how much does it cost them? I understand there's a delay, but how much does it cost for an applicant to apply for a special permit?
Yeah, special permit is
What's the financial burden for
yeah,
this?
the special permit is $500. Site plan is minimum $1,500. So at a minimum, they're gonna need the special permit. They may need a site plan.
And a lawyer.
Yeah, so that adds up for,
So did they have to do this already, though, for what they're doing now?
No, because
So
of
they-
COVID.
Right, so they were able to.
No,
Do
so
they-
going away.
It only
Right.
becomes an issue for those businesses that have decided that they need increased seating capacity, and they want that increased seating capacity to be outdoors.
Do they have a deadline right now to remove their seating the way it is?
I believe the emergency provisions have expired at this point.
yeah.
Is there a grant?
What
way to
about from the
grandfather
town?
these businesses that have put in
No.
tents and done all this extra?
No.
There's no way to grandfather
There's a
just that?
date that they're all gonna stop.
They're all gonna stop. So there is a
So
date
once
that
you
the town
change
has
the
given all
bylaw,
these
it's-
restaurants to move in.
Correct.
So if
Correct.
we were to change this coming up, they would have to then reset it all back up and,
If, as Henry said, if the board does nothing, then the existing special permit provision would likely solve 9 out of 10 proposals. If the board wanted to be proactive and, try to come up with something that didn't require a special permit under certain circumstances, then a town meeting article.
Well, let's
Would be advantage.
let's noodle over it for a week and discuss it.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
that sounds good. Does anybody else have?
Christina. Yes, this is Christina. I just want to add a small thing to that, not to complicate it too much. But I'd like to talk to the DPW about how that might affect sewer flows and/or the size of their existing grease traps, whether that would require some kind of increase.
Okay,
Yeah.
Interesting.
Good point.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
That's why we noodle.
Thanks for bringing it in.
No problem.
Does anybody have anything else?
Well,
Move to adjourn.
beat me to it.
All in favor? Aye.
You got by me on that one.